This is an NBC News special report. Here's Brian Williams.
Well, good day from Los Angeles. We're coming on the air with news of a massive tornado in Oklahoma, just south of Oklahoma City in the town of Moore. This is live picture from KFOR television, our NBC affiliate in Oklahoma City. At one point, it was estimated the base of this one tornado was upwards of a mile wide. And right now, people in the Oklahoma City area are kind of taking stock visually, looking for landmarks. We saw scenes a few minutes ago of children and teachers being reunited, having emerged alive from storm cellars. But it is still an active storm scene there. Al Roker is part of our team on the ground. And Al, as we look at these aerial pictures showing what were buildings, what appears to be Interstate 35 bisected by wreckage, what can you tell us from there?
Well, Brian, there are at least 2 elementary schools that have gotten hit, and there's still children trapped, so they're working that scene. It's cut across I-35. We saw multiple cars thrown around like toys. They're estimating at this point that the debris field is about 2 miles wide. So this is a massive storm. And folks here who remember this say this is very reminiscent of the May 3rd outbreak of 1999. The city of Moore, Oklahoma, which is a suburb of Oklahoma City, it was really hit hard. It was an EF5 tornado. And this one, if you remember the tornado yesterday, that was an EF4. This looks like it's probably going to end up being an EF5. We have at least damage to at least 2 schools in Moore. And as we continue to track this, there are cars that have been flipped over and crushed. We have no idea at this point of how many injuries there have been. We have seen at least 2 or 3 homes on fire. There are gas leaks, numerous gas leaks throughout the area. There are people trapped in cars that have been overturned. It is pandemonium. Brian, I know you remember us when we were in Joplin, Missouri. This feels very much like that right now, and looking at all of the damage. And we haven't even begun to. Crews are fighting. They've got firefighters trying to get to these homes that are on fire. But because the debris field is so wide and so massive, it's holding up that. First responders are having trouble getting to the scene. It is pure pandemonium here.
Al, it certainly looks that way from these aerial pictures from KFOR.
Yeah, and we have a second, and now it looks like we have a second tornado on the ground. This first one was on the ground for about 35 minutes.
All right. Al Roker reporting a second twister on the ground. Again, if you live in the Oklahoma City area, of course, power is off across a wide area. People are trying to take stock of exactly what neighborhoods have been ripped up here. We showed the interstate just about 2 minutes ago, and what happened there is a structure was just dropped across the span of the interstate. That was a house. There's portions of a boat just dropping right across the median, the divider, and not even emergency vehicles could get through. But if you were in the path of this thing when it came through, you had big trouble. Some of the saving grace, about the only saving grace, it happened in the middle of the day. This is not something that came up in the middle of the night. Sirens were blaring. We knew, we have a good-sized team there. We knew this severe weather system was setting up in the area of Oklahoma City. We've had several days wind up to this. Many millions of people have been warned that severe weather was coming. But just look at the scope of this. Let's listen in to our station, KFOR, Oklahoma City.
Back on May 3rd, 8,100 homes damaged or destroyed, 1,040 apartment complexes damaged or destroyed. The injury count was 583, and the fatality count for the Bridge Creek Moore tornado was 36 deaths. Now, we don't know anything about those statistics right there, the ones that really matter. But I think it's clear to say the 8,100 homes and 1,040 apartment complexes, this is clearly much more widespread and devastating as far as the damage. This tornado was much wider. It does appear to be likely an F5. It's difficult to say scientifically, likely an F5, but it looks like it is an F5. And it was a $1.2 billion storm on May 3rd, 1999. This is clearly much more massive in scope in terms of the damage. Geographical area, it's much, much larger. Let's go ahead and take a look at the storm tracker right now. Now, there are quite a few tornado warnings out. We have Mike Bennett on this one. He does not see a tornado warning right now, but it is heading for Meeker and Prague, just to the north of Shawnee. It's just north of I-40, near the Fire Lake Grand Casino right now. It'll track just north of the Shawnee Mall. That has a tornado warning on it right now. And also severe storms continue in the Midwest City area. Those have some large hail with them, but right now no tornado with that. This one, Reed Timmer, we are in contact with our storm trackers throughout this coverage, and we have them on the Gentners. We're in contact.
So this is local weather on KFOR, and they're interspersing it with their live chopper pictures. Al Roker mentioned there are fires burning. You can see some of them in the wreckage. Gas leaks, of course, after something like this are rampant. And you'll start to hear, as we already have, predictions that this was an F5 tornado. That determination can only be made by the National Weather Service. And if so, that means it, in plain English, is the highest winds nature can produce on planet Earth. This certainly, from all the evidence by air, looks like an F5 or very, very close. And Al Roker, you heard our local meteorologist confirm at least a second tornado warning in the Oklahoma City metropolitan area.
Yeah, that's the case, Brian. And we're looking at video of that on the radar. We're seeing hook echo, a very, very pronounced hook echo with this. And so, as you mentioned, the good news is that we've been talking about this outbreak since late last week. That we knew this was coming, and unfortunately, it has come to pass. The good news has been, though, that that people really took this to heart. Yesterday, the good news is, while 2 deaths is nothing to be happy about, it could have been much worse. I don't know that we are going to be as fortunate with this outbreak because of the massive scale of this storm. The debris field at least 2 miles wide, and it looks like we are going to, as you said, an EF5. There are at least several structures on fire right now, and it looks like entire subdivisions have been leveled by this system. And we are just, some areas can't even be reached. The choppers can't get to because the winds are so strong right now. The rain is so rough. We're getting buffeted by torrential rain and hail right now as we try to make our way over to this. Just to give you an idea, the wind speed of an EF5 is 200 miles per hour or more. So imagine that in a densely populated area such as Moore. And in fact, we're looking right now at the Tulsa radar, and you can see more stuff, more systems starting to fire up. So we're not even out of the woods on this yet. This is going to be going on for a while longer.
And Al, as you were talking, KFOR was repeating that videotape. You see school-age children just kind of emerging, wandering around. We got to see one of them reunited with what appeared to be this boy's parent, but that kind of thing is going to be happening. These are kids who are just dazed at what has passed over them, and of course the firefighting is part of the effort. So Moore, Oklahoma has taken a direct hit from a tornado, according to various reports, at least a mile wide at the base, part of an afternoon and evening of violent weather that, as Al Roker reports, will continue. We'll be on this story. We'll have much more, of course, when we rejoin you for NBC Nightly News. I'm Brian Williams, NBC News, Los Angeles.